Hey, welcome back. Today we're taking a closer look at a major story featured on the front page of Seoul Economic Daily.
Yeah, and it's a massive one today. We're looking at a pretty wild mix of geopolitical shocks, AI basically taking over lawsuits, and quantum computers shrinking down.
Right, it's this huge tug of war between global uncertainty and, our attempts to engineer total control.
Exactly. And I mean, the ultimate example of that uncertainty right now is definitely geopolitical. So, Donald Trump recently announced a 5-day pause on military strikes against Iran's energy facilities.
Wait, he said they were having, productive talks, right?
He did, yeah. But Iranian sources firmly denied that any dialogue even took place. They completely dismissed it as just political rhetoric meant to manipulate energy prices.
Oh, wow. And global markets just completely despise that kind of unpredictability.
Oh, they do. I mean, look at the data from the Korea exchange. The reaction was absolutely brutal.
Right, the KOSPI crashed 375.45 points. That's a 6.49% drop, bringing it down to 50,405.75.
Which is just a massive hit. And every day, Korean businesses are facing this sudden triple threat of high interest rates, high exchange rates, and of course, high oil prices.
So how exactly does that external friction hit so hard locally?
Well, you have to look at the bond market and currency. The U.S. 10-year Treasury yield hit 4.415%.
Ah, so when U.S. yields climb like that, it just acts like a giant vacuum.
Exactly. It sucks global capital right out of emerging markets and back into the U.S. And at the exact same time, the $1 exchange rate rose 16.71 to close at 1517.31.
Man, that completely strains the local economy. It's
Yeah.
like a factory running on a treadmill. The speed goes up because of U.S. interest rates, the incline rises with volatile oil, and then the oxygen gets thin as the currency weakens.
That is a great analogy. The factory gears just start breaking. Buying raw materials with a weakened one is instantly more expensive, and borrowing money to cover those gaps costs more.
So while the macroeconomy is chaotic, the tech world is kind of obsessed with gaining hyper-efficient control over our environments.
Right, like the actual physical infrastructure of computing. French firm Pascal just built a 200-qubit quantum computer. And get this, it fits entirely inside the footprint of a phone booth.
Wait, really? A phone booth? Because I thought quantum computers needed those massive, room-sized supercooling refrigerators.
They historically did, yeah. You had to freeze the system to near absolute zero so the qubits wouldn't destabilize.
Right. So how did they shrink it down so much?
Well, Pascal bypassed all that by using neutral atom technology. Instead of extreme cold, they use precise lasers inside vacuum chambers.
Oh, so they trap and manipulate individual atoms at room temperature.
Exactly. Because they completely eliminated the giant sub-zero freezing equipment, the spatial footprint just plummets.
That is wild. I mean, we went from room-sized mainframes to desktop PCs in the 70s. So does this make quantum a plug-and-play asset for AI data centers?
It genuinely does. It makes quantum processing a real viable add-on for existing AI server racks.
Speaking of spatial footprints shrinking, traditional corporate boundaries are kind of dissolving to give us more control over our own spaces.
Oh, definitely. Samsung and Hyundai just rolled out their new car-to-home service.
Right, they are merging their platforms with this new smart routine feature.
Yeah. It tracks your vehicle's physical location to automatically trigger home appliances. So, you drive closer and your house turns on the air purifier.
And then you drive away, and it activates the robot vacuum.
I mean, I get the appeal of a zero-friction life, folks.
Hey.
But I think we're blurring the lines a bit too much here. My car is basically becoming a giant rolling remote control for my living room.
Yeah, we're turning every piece of hardware into a node on a single network. The underlying logic is total environmental control.
Which sounds great until it's not.
Right. By stripping away the boundaries between the auto industry and home electronics, they're creating this predictive ecosystem that reacts to you before you even push a button. But that predictive automation isn't just stopping at home appliances. Consumer AI is navigating incredibly complex systems now.
Like our civil courts, the numbers here are actually staggering.
Yeah, according to 2024 Supreme Court data, out of 786,085 civil first trial cases, a staggering 89.7% had at least one unrepresented party.
Wow.
And for everyday living disputes, 81% had no lawyers on either side.
That is a huge majority. And with electronic litigation adoption at 99%, people are heavily leaning on tools like ChatGPT to write their legal complaints.
Because the legal system is expensive and intimidating.
It is, but the structural problem is that generative AI doesn't actually know the law. It just mathematically predicts the next logical word.
Right, which means it hallucinates. Legal experts are warning that these algorithms frequently cite completely fake precedent.
Exactly. It creates a massive liability issue. AI lowers the barrier to entry, but it might generate a brief that sounds incredibly professional, but legally, it's a fabricated document.
So if your AI lawyer hallucinates a fake Supreme Court ruling, who actually takes the fall in front of the judge? The algorithm or you?
Legally, it falls entirely on you. You signed and filed the complaint. The AI is just a tool, so you assume 100% of the personal risk for its fabrications.
Man, that really forces you to step back and look at the whole picture.
Yeah, it really does.
If our cars are managing our homes, algorithms are arguing our lawsuits, and quantum computers fit in phone booths to process it all, what happens to human agency when all these hyper-efficient systems start communicating directly with each other without us?
We build these tools to control the uncertainty of the world, but we might just end up engineering ourselves out of the loop completely.
Right, that's our deep dive on the shifting boundaries of tech and economics for today.
Thanks for listening, folks.
We'll catch you next time with more stories from the Korean economy.
Yep. See you then.
Thanks for tuning in to the Korea Economy Brief front page of Seoul Economic Daily News. See you soon.